Welcome to lesson 4. So today we're going to look at the Flask Form. Now, Flask Form is a way to create and manage HTML forms within a Flask web application. Now, Flask Forms are typically used for collecting and processing users' input in a structured and secured manner. Now, there's an extension tool which is called the Flask WTF. It's an extension tool, right, for Flask. It provides the integration with the WT forms, a flexible form for handling library, right? So to help us create forms in Python code and write them in HTML. So the main advantage of this Flask WTF is that it protects against cross-site request forgery, and that is what we need to consider when building a web application, especially a secure web application. These are the things we need to consider. So the first thing we need to do for us to start creating our forms is to install this extension. And to install it, you need to write on the link to activate your environment first, so that the installation goes, the extension tool goes directly to the virtual environment. So this is Flask install, pip install the Flask WTF. So I will click on it, which I already have it. Okay. So now the first thing I'll do is, now this is the auth module. Right, I want to create forms for the auth module. So in the last class, we said that the auth module will contain the sign up, sign in, forget password, and the reset password. So I'll start by creating the forms. I'll start by clicking on my forms from file. So what I will do is to import the Flask WTF from Flask WTF, import this, then from WTF forms, import this. It means this start means I'm importing everything, all the tools that I need, right? Instead of writing it one, I'm just importing everything. So from WC forms validate, right? Import all. Okay. Now the next thing I'll do is to start creating my form. So I'll start by creating the sign up form. Okay. Now this will inherit all the tools that we need to create the sign up forms. So let's now we created in our previous lessons we created our module for students, and the students are the ones signing up, right? So I need to copy this because I'll be using that as a reference here. So I will go down, so I'll be looking at this when I create my form. So remember that the student have a primary key. So this primary key is out of it because we are not inserting values to the ID, because by default it also increments, right? So the next one we need to do is to allow the user, while the user is registering, to allow the user to select a program. So now definitely this one will be a select field because this is a foreign key, and we don't want the user to key in values, to key input value into this. We need the user to select from the programs in the existing tables. So that's why we have a select field here, right? So in the HTML end, we come up like a select box or an option box. So we have a select field. So the label that will show on the HTML end will select program, right? So for us, which I want to enforce it to only take an int value. Okay, then have a validator which is required. So it means that must be entered. So there is a validator. So we do for program for level ID. So I'll change this one to select level. Okay, so I'm done with these two. Right? So I'll do for name. Copy this. So name will not be a select field. So name will be a string field. So it requires the user to key in an input value here. So this is string field. Put name. So this is not an integer value, but rather it's a string value. So the validator is required. need to put the mask length, which is here. You can see the mask length is 100, so the user will not type more than 100, right? So that's why this is necessary. So you can see how the validator works here in the Flask Form, right? So it validates the user and to restrict the user from typing no more than 100 characters, right? So I'm done with this. So I'll copy this. So an email is still a string field, right? But you have a function called email. I have a function called email. So this will prevent the user from typing a name rather than to allow so that the user can be able to type email, anything that's related to an email, for so that if the user types a name here, just a name or just a string here, now this field will reject it. So that's why this is the advantage of this function we call here, right? It checks if the text is an email. Right? So we are done with the email. So the next one we do here is the telephone number. So telephone number is still a string field. Okay, I've not called this label email. You can call it email address. So the telephone number is a string field because who wants the user to type in the country code which starts with the +234 and the other number, so definitely to be a string field. So the validators that required, so the length, the mask length, what's the mask length of email then? Um, oh, let's okay then let's check this the model. The mask length of email is 50. Okay, email. So let's change this to 50. So the mask length of telephone number is 20. Okay, I think I'm done with the telephone number. Then the last one we need to do here is the password. Okay, password. So you type in the user password. Or let me start password. So now this should be a password field, right? So this is a password, this is later, then the password have the mask length of 50. Okay, now I need to put another extra field here, which is the uh, confirm password. Confirm password, this is a password field. So this should be confirm password. So validator is required. So there is a function which we have the equal to, right? So this equal to will check if this password equals, if the confirmed password equals the password that we have. So if the confirmed password, copy this. So if the confirmed password does not equal this password, so it should bring out a message that the password must match. Okay. Okay, that's it. The password must match. So we need a button. We need a submit button. So call this submit, which is a submit field, and then we can write on the label of the button we have to sign up. Okay, now we're done with the sign up, but there are things we need to do here. We need to initialize a method to set up the sign up form, especially on the program and level. Now what I mean is this, right? Since the select field is picking up values, is picking up records from the program table, and the level ID, which is the select field, is picking up values from the level table. So we need to write a method that can be able to fetch those values down to our select fields here that we have. So I'll put that. So this initialization method to set up the form. Init is set as okay. And the next line we'll do is to call the parent class initializer method to ensure proper form initialization. So I'll do this. These are flags, which is it. So I'll call this form here the sign up form. I'll set that set init AWS. Okay. So the next line I'll do is to populate the choices for the program ID, right? For the choice for the program ID field with a list of tuples. So the tuples will have the ID and the program name, right? So I will explain that when I written the code. So we have the set this program ID that we have here. Set the program ID, the choices, right? Which now be equal to the tuple program ID, program name for program in program created for. Okay, now don't worry about this error. Why this error is showing is that because I've not imported the model program. Remember in our last class we created a model program, which is this. You can see this is a model for program here, so I need to import it because I'm using it. The reason I'm using it is this is a tuple, right? So I'm getting two. I'm selecting two columns from this program table, from this program model. So you can see the ID, which the ID is the one storing in our uh, student registration table. While this program name allows this is what the user sees at the front end. So it allows the user to select from the program name. So once the user select, once I click on the sign up button, what go directly to the table in the database is the ID. This is what stores there. That's why we enforce the class to the int. So this is what stores there, not this program name. So this program name is what the user sees, but not the ID. Because if the user sees the ID, the user will be confused and the user will not understand which program it needs to select. So that's why we have a name here. So for this one showing error here, we need to import from app.the program, that is from this app here, dot the program folder, and dot the models import program. So it goes out, right? So we'll do the same thing for the level. All I just need to do is to copy this one. So just change this one to level ID, the choices. So we have the level ID, we have the level, the name for level, the level. Okay. Now if you check the level model, what we have the level model here is ID and name. So this is what we're fetching out. So that's what we did here. So what the user sees level name, what goes down to the table, what stores in the table is the level ID. So we need to import the level just similarly here. So the default program from app the level of the model import the level, right? So we are done with the class, the sign up form. So the next thing we're done with sign up form, so I'll remove this. password hash. Let's make this password hash so we just get the same page. Password hash. Copy this one. Password hash. So I'll get the same page here. So I'm done with the sign up form. I'm done with the sign up form. So the next form I'll look at here is the sign in form. So I already created a sign up form. I just need to do is to copy this one and then paste it here. So this is a sign in form. Okay. So the sign in form we have the email address and the password. So remove all these ones. Right. Use the email address which is required, then the password. Okay. So I'll remove this confirm password. Remove this confirm password here. So submit button we have will now be sign in. Okay, I think I'm done with the sign in form. So we need to do more one. We need to do the forget password or copy this. So this would be the forget password. Forget password form, right? So the forget password, how we want it here, the rule we apply here is when a user kills an email address, the registered email address, right? So a message alongside the integration of the token, a message alongside the integration of the token will be attached. The token will be attached to that message alongside the URL of the application, right? So when a user clicks that message, the registered user clicks that message, it goes direct to the reset password where the user resets his password. That's what we're going to do here. So all we need here is the email, then just say verify email. So once the email is verified, then a message will be sent to that email to allow the user to create a new password. So now this is a form. This is the form that will give the user the room. So let's just copy this. I won't be writing it twice. So this is the form that will give the user the room to reset his or her password. So we have the reset password form, right? So the reset password will only contain the password and the confirmed password. So once it's done, reset password. Once it's done, it depends on the logic of the application. So once the reset password is done, we can decide, okay, should we take users to the main system or should we navigate the user back to the sign in page? But in some scenarios, once the reset password is done, take the users to the system, right? Log in the user automatically, right? Rather than taking the user back to the sign in form. So I hope you guys understood this form here. You can see we created 4 forms here for the port folder. You can see the first one is a sign up form, right? So this method here is to populate the select box. This method will allow us to populate the select field that we have here so that users can then select a program and then select level. Like you can see, we have tuples here which contain the ID and the name. So the name is what the user says. This ID is what goes directly to the text, what stores in the table in the database. So now this is a sign-up form, sign-in form that requires the user to put the verified email address and the password and then sign in. Right. So we have the forget password, we have the reset password. Right. So next tutorial, after we're finished with Flask Form, we're going to face the blueprint initialization, right? So once we're done with the blueprint initialization, then we're going to face our roots, the logic of our application. Once we're done, we're going to do all the steps like we're going to face user interfaces where you see how this thing works. Now, web application these days is very simple. And so if you have any comments, you can write it on my dashboard. I can read the sheets and make and give you a good reply. Thank you and have a good day.